Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Connected
Mm.
Conversations. And I am so thrilled and excited to welcome
Yeah.
Angèle Lamothe, the transformational soul coach. And I am Martina Mazdrova. I am your host, and I'm standing as the source of a transformed world. So, and that's why I'm bringing you the Connected Conversations to give you the missing link, the missing person in your life, bringing the little piece of puzzle so you can start building the puzzle of where you get to go and you can up level in any area of your life, because it can be one word, it can be one sentence, it can be a topic which opens up totally new possibilities. And I'm so excited about this. So, Angel, thank you so much for joining us. I'm so excited about this
I'm
conversation.
so excited to be here, Martina. Thank you for having me. Thank you for holding the space for me. And it's going to be powerful today. I could feel
Yes,
it.
yes, me too.
I feel the energy. I feel the excitement. And together, we're always creating magic as well. So everything going for us today.
Yes, I would love for you, Angel, to start with who you are. What is your story? How did you become a transformational soul coach? Not just transformational coach,
Mm.
transformational soul coach. That resonates so much with me. So share
Yeah.
whatever you feel like you get to share with us.
So from a very young age, I had this feeling, this intuition that we could have it all. We could have our dream life. We could have the abundance that we wanted. The world was a unified place where everyone had their space and everything was available. Every dream, every possibility, from material to spiritual to and then life happened, and I thought that doing more and being more and working more and doing everything that I actually did want to do and dream of that, I actually did go ahead and do it all. But what I realized was I was exhausted. I was in my head, I was overwhelmed, and yes, I was doing it all. I have three kids. I'm working. I do triathlons. However, I was disconnected. My heart, my soul was disconnected from my head. I was always in my head, always in the doing, always in the thinking. And that's when my soul, or your intuition, your gut feeling,
Mm.
whatever whatever resonates with you, it was telling me and showing me that there was a better way, and that it went against everything that we were taught. Slow down, listen to your intuition, take the time that you need, because when you do go to that space, to that present moment, to the being, to the um, you know in that space, answers come easily, things happen easily. And so I recreated my whole vision and my whole purpose from that space. And now I do get to have it all. I do get to do it all, but it gets to easy and in flow and limitless when it comes from that space. So that's
That's
me in a nutshell.
beautiful. That's beautiful and that's so powerful. And it's amazing how you're saying it. You're like, it gets to be easy. This is a sentence that I used to hate. I kept hearing it all the time. It's like, just don't work too much. Get out of the hamster wheel. It gets to be easy. It gets to be easy. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean? How does that work? I don't know how to do it. Like, how it can be
Exactly.
easy if you need to do this and this and this and that. And then, especially for parents, right? They have on top of that, they've got other lives to look after. So, it gets to be easy. What do you really mean? Yeah, what do you really mean it gets to be easy? What does that look
So
like?
I didn't understand that concept either. Like I understand the words, and of course
Hmm.
I know what gets to be easy means, but we that goes against everything we're taught, as a mom, as a business person, as a working person, as a person in general. Our societies, you have to work hard if you want to make it happen. Things need to be, you need to work long hours, to make it happen. It gets to be hard, and you have to work if you actually want to do everything. But what we didn't factor in was, at the end of the day, where was the spare time for joy and happiness? And not that you're not enjoying happiness in those moments, but at night when you get home, what do you what what do you want to embody? What's the frequency? What's the joy? What brings you happiness in your life? And yes, working hard, can bring you happiness, but it can only bring you a certain way. So it gets to be easy to me. This is where I discovered the quantum field of possibility is when you actually do take time to connect to your intuition, to connect to your soul, the answers are already in there. So they're in you, they're in the quantum field, and the possibilities become limitless. So then you actually have the answers. People show up in your life, you are aligned, doors open left and right. And that's what, to me, that's what, it gets to be easy does. I have more joy, more power, more happiness, more love, and I get to do all the other things that I used to do. But because I'm aligned and because I'm in my heart space and I trust my intuition, the answers come. So I don't have to worry and be in my head and like, oh, maybe I didn't do the right thing, or maybe this, or maybe
Yeah.
that. So to me, personally, that's what gets to be easy means.
That's beautiful. It's so powerful, and I feel there's so many people who gets to hear that. I wanted to say I'm hearing some sort of noises. I don't know if our
Oh,
listeners can hear that too. I think there's just the energy is quite
I
high.
hear
So
kind of like, I hear kids or like
no, I don't
voices.
hear. You hear no,
Oh,
I hear very different things. I don't hear kids. So this is interesting. So there is just
there are
I
no
feel like
kids
there is just
around.
very good energy. I think
Yes,
it's just that's what's happening. So excuse the quality, our listeners, if you hear it too, or maybe it's just
yes.
me.
I
So
also
you
wanted to add, I'm sorry to interrupt,
go.
beautiful. I wanted to add that, it's a choice that you make. And I
Mhm.
make it sound like, oh, it gets to be easy. I'm not saying I
Yeah.
have no stress in my life. I'm not saying that life isn't hard sometimes. I'm not saying that don't have challenges. Of course, I would be completely lying and not honest with anyone, including mostly myself. But what I do know is that when you choose in that moment to, go back to yourself, go back to your intuition and to work through what's going on, that again is where it gets to be easy. So it gets to be easy doesn't mean that life is easy peasy, rainbows and unicorns and you never have challenges, but it's how you choose to, you know, attack the challenges. It's how you
Yeah.
choose to see them, and it's how you choose, it's how you embody that challenge. So I just wanted to add that part.
Thank you. And it's everything is an interpretations, right?
Yes,
If I'm choosing it as it's happening to me, poor
yes.
little me, everything is happening to me, they did
For
this to
me.
me. Or is it
Hmm.
happening for me? Is it a gift? Is it a lesson? Is it an
Yes,
opportunity? And that,
that's
I mean,
beautiful.
this shift has been liberating so much for me.
Yes.
Not always. I still have moments when I'm like, oh my God, this is so hard. And then
It's
it's like,
because you're
okay,
human and you
yes,
want to
totally.
improve and you want to be a better person and a better human and serve humanity. So, yeah, it gets to be hard, but you work through those challenges quicker when you're in that awareness
Exactly.
and when
Exactly.
you
The
are,
shift is so much
yes,
quicker.
yes, much
Beautiful.
quicker. Yeah,
Beautiful. Angel, you mentioned the quantum field.
yes.
That from the quantum field, we've got the possibilities and all that. So, what is actually the quantum field? In case we have some listeners who've never heard about it, or
Hmm.
maybe they thought this is a woohoo kind of thing,
Yes.
or maybe because someone who already plays in the quantum field, and it is awesome.
Yeah.
But for those who are quite new to it, what is the quantum field?
So to me personally, and this is really Joe Dispenza, I love his work, and he's the one that's introduced me to the quantum model or the quantum field. But in my reality, in my own words, really, the quantum model is the present moment, the generous present moment where all possibilities exist. So it's when you actually get out of your mind, get into your heart, and when you get that heart coherent space and you remove every condition around you. So usually that happens in meditation, or you really have to be in a space where there are no outside distractions. But when you access that space, that present moment, so when they say be mindful, be in the moment, it's really disconnecting yourself from this 3D world. So from your from belongings, from experiences, from things that you associate yourself with, and really being in the moment. And it's almost like an altered state of consciousness, really. And then when you tap in that space, because, and I mean, this is physics. I'm not making this up, Einstein. Like this is an actual theory. But when you can train yourself to go to that space, um, the possibilities are endless because our minds don't know the difference. And this is where the mind is so powerful. And when connected to that space, our minds don't know the difference between something that's happening or something that will happen. So that's when the visualizations and the dreams and all of the possibilities that exist come into play. And to put it a step even further, what I've come to realize in my practice is that not only do you have your own possibilities in that field, there's knowing, there's from your soul, from your past lives, if that's something that speaks to you and you believe in. But there's also, together as a unified consciousness, we are more powerful in that space because when lots of people access it, then the energy and so that's beautiful, and that's really powerful. So I hope that makes sense. I've tried to, explain it in my own words, but to me,
Yeah,
that's where the quantum field is.
it makes sense to me. If our listeners have any
Yeah.
questions, feel free to put them in the comments and we can see them and answer any questions.
So
And
essentially, it's
mhm,
free of our conditional experiences and linear time. So that's the key. Like we're not.
what do you mean by linear time?
So you know how as humans or as 3D humans, we have schedules and days and the past and the future. Is said, when you are in a space, there's no concept of time, which is where the possibilities and the dreams and the aspirations and whatever you want to create from that space is powerful because you're not attached to your conditional environment, to your conditional
Hmm.
circumstances, and you're not attached to linear time. So anything is possible anywhere, everywhere, all the time. And again,
That's so
yeah,
juicy.
yeah.
So
So
if we've got someone who is totally new and they're kind of resonating, they're quite ready to receive these possibilities,
mhm.
to receive this information, where do they start? I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. I'm kind of interested to learn about it. Where would you suggest? How would you
Mhm.
suggest to start and start playing with this?
Yeah. So first of all, if you're tuning in and if you're attracted to this, and if it's, you don't need to understand all of it and how it works, but if your soul, if you're attracted to this already, then it's already meant for you, and it means you're ready. We're always ready. The universe, how it works out. There's the same information that we can get a year ago doesn't have the same impact and resonance, when it's not the perfect time. So I just wanted to honor and um, elicit that today. The first foremost important thing is meditation. So whatever that form, wherever you can disconnect from your mind and really tune into your heart and into your intuition and out of your thoughts. So for me, it's meditation. It could be mindfulness, but really somewhere, and it doesn't have to be long. You can start with short periods of time, but really, at least a 10-minute period where you tune out, you go inside, and you really, and you can set the intention. You can, and it's consistency, right? So it's like any exercise. I find myself included. When I started, I thought, okay, quantum field, that's easy. But we think that that'll come easily, right? But it's like exercise, it's like any habit. You have to practice to become good at it. I mean, that's just how we are. So don't try it one day and say, oh, I'm not good at it.
This doesn't work.
No.
This
So
quantum field thing.
yeah. And really like the visualization. So once you're in that space, so really being gentle with yourself and consistent and just, open to the possibility. But when you do access that space, you'll understand because it's like it's all I say space, but it's almost like you're floating in space and every possibility, every thought, everything is in it's physics. So it's in that space and it's accessible and you can dream your reality. You can if you can see your visions in that space, if you can create visions in that space, it means it's happening, or it's happened, or it's going to happen.
So
Again,
powerful.
it's physics, so it's
Yeah.
laws of the universe. Like it is. Yeah. So to come back to your question, definitely finding whatever works for you, where you can quiet your mind and really go get into your intuition. And it can be a walking meditation. Some people, as long as you are in the moment, like in the present moment, and really not in your mind, and just feeling, and whatever that looks like for you, you'll see. And it's the heart and mind coherence as well, um, that's created, and that's when the magic happens.
This is so good. Okay, we could speak the whole evening for me,
Yes,
day for you.
yes.
And I wanted to ask, Angel, we've got about 5 minutes. Would it be
Yes,
possible to take us through a visualization or something like that for
absolutely.
our listeners, just to have a
Yes,
little taste of it, if maybe they have never done it, just
yes.
to have a little experience?
I just wanted to add a few more things, and
Yeah,
I would
go
love to
ahead.
walk you guys through a visualization. So the other thing I wanted to add was, when you're connected with a friend, so the unity consciousness, and when you think of a friend and the next 2 minutes later she calls you, and you're like, wow, we're aligned. That's also the quantum field. So I just wanted to point out the synchronicities, because our thoughts also create our reality, and our thoughts go in that field as well. So when you start noticing those things, when you start appreciating, when you start saying, oh, the universe is really working for us. And
Yes.
when you start noticing, you'll notice even more how that happens. So, because thoughts and concepts and ideas go in that quantum space as well. So when you drop them in, another person that's tuned in, can actually, it sounds woo woo, but can actually pick up on that. And that's where, the unified power together, for, the awareness of the, raising the consciousness of the planet, and being in love and being in gratitude. When you're in those high frequencies, then it gets even more accelerated. So I just wanted to add that as well, because
That's
I'm
so
sure
true.
anyone can relate. I thought about my mom, and she called me right away, and I
Yeah.
hadn't spoken to her in 2 days.
Yes.
Or,
Yes.
there's
Yes. Yes.
everyone has an example of that, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Totally. Very relatable.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Awesome. Is there anything else you would like to add before we
um,
jump in the
So I just want to
practice?
say that we are the powerful creators, conscious creators of reality. And when it's created from that space, and when you are not attached to 3D, to any of our previous experiences, anything that's, from the past, you get to create your future. It's really limitless from this space. So I know it might sound so abstract, and
Mm.
I would encourage you to explore, because it was abstract for me as well. But now that I'm playing in a field, I've manifested my house. I've manifested so many things, because you get to create. So this is where the visualizations, I'll walk you through an exercise, but this is where your visualizations come in, because your brain doesn't know if it's happened or if it will so that's the
Yeah.
beauty of playing in
That,
this field.
that's so powerful. And it's the same, right? With like language and words are
Yes,
really literally tools of creation. And it just,
yes,
as you say, it doesn't know like positive, negative. So sometimes we're focusing so much on what we don't want. And it's like,
yes,
oh, I don't want this depth. I don't want to be afraid. But really, what the brain is just taking depth, afraid, fear, and that's what we create more
yes,
of, right? So, how can we flip it? Well, if I don't have depth or if I'm not afraid, what is that like? I am powerful. I
absolutely.
am free. I am
Yes,
abundant with money or whatever it is. So, that has
yes,
been very powerful for me also to
yes,
learn that and just being conscious because honestly, you just go, I don't want this, and I don't want this, and I don't like this. And then you
yeah,
ask, so what do you want? Well, I don't want this. Like, that's great. And what do you want? Well, I don't want that. And what do you want? So how can
yes.
we flip it being really positive? Put
Mm,
it in a
I
positive
love that.
experience.
So there's three things that are coming up, and then I promise we'll go into visualization. So our subconscious thoughts make up 90 to 95% of our being. So again, when we're in this space, our subconscious thoughts are, and I mean, there's, you can do affirmations and visualizations all day, and I mean, they're not going to be harmful, but just like words, our energy and our ways of being and how we choose to show up in the world, that is more important than anything in the world, because as we know, we vibrate at the same level as, our thoughts, our realities. So when you are in gratitude, when you are in love, when you are creating from that space, then you attract even more of that into your field. So just wanted to add that when you talked about the words and how they, beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we have 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
We have like 3 minutes to be in rigor.
Perfect. So so we'll close our eyes and we'll take a deep breath. So just concentrating on your breath, letting your worries of today, your to-do list, whatever was, if something upset you earlier, just let that go. And tell it that you'll be back later. But just for the moment, you can visualize the sun at your heart space, visualize the beach if that speaks to you, visualize a quiet space, something that really brings you happiness. For some, it's the forest, for some, it's the mountains, it can be the water. I said the beach earlier, just really quieting it down. And we're not going to be able to go probably deep today, but I just want to walk you through it so then at home you can try it on your own and maybe, dig deeper. And so you would get into that quiet space. And then really starting to visualize what you want. So not what you don't want. It can be, in a year from now, it can be in 2 years, but I wouldn't associate a time frame. So for me in the morning, I do this every morning, and I visualize the energy that I want for my family, for my kids. So I want to be in more joy. I want to be in more gratitude. I picture us happy and with light, and just I also picture, the house that I want, and the feelings, and who's there, and how I'm feeling, and what I'm wearing, and what it looks like, but mostly what it feels like. So what's the feeling of that? Because we don't want to be too specific, because then it closes opportunities. That it might be a bigger house or a better house, or somewhere, even a location that's even better. So I usually really go with the feeling, and really, like when I say going with the feeling, like really digging deep, and what is that, like embodying that feeling. So we all know what like bliss feels like. We all know what joy feels like. We all know what love looks like. So freedom. So whatever that motivation is for you. And then you can do that for relationships. If you want to call in your soulmate, if you want to call in your partner, if you want an amazing relationship with your current partner, if you want to call in the job, if you're looking to start your business. I know I'm talking you through, but given the time restraints, I just want to give you some options to do this on your own at home. But really, and if you're new to this, you can even write them down in advance and then visualize them in that space. But you'll be amazed at how you get to create that reality. And when you're in a higher frequency, those possibilities come in your field. So in the quantum field, yes, we get to create everything and anything that we desire. All possibilities are there. But when you embody and live and vibrate in love, gratitude, joy, those situations, and when you become responsible for what shows up in your life, and when you become a better person and a better version of yourself, you will see that magic, those visualizations, those dreams are actually will become reality faster. So we can crunch time. That's the other thing, but that's a whole other topic. This is where the crunching time happens in this field. So there's no linear time. So you can accelerate anything from that space, and you can create anything from that space. And it really is truly magic. But I mean, I can go on and on and on. But Yeah, it's not. It, we get to go, but I hope that helped a little bit to give you an idea and to try at home uh, on your own.
Yes, beautiful. I'm
Beautiful.
so sorry to cut it because I would
Oh,
love, and
not at
I'm already
all, not
feeling
at
like
all.
I think we get to talk again about collapsing
Yes,
time, and
I
that just
think
came through
so.
me as
Yes,
we were just
likewise.
finishing. I think we get to do that,
Yes,
and we can leave more space for actually walking anyone through it
absolutely.
because I think it would be beautiful experience.
Yes.
Thank you, Danielle, for commenting and enjoying this beautiful practice. Thank you, Angèle, for leading us through it. Very last thing, if anyone would love to keep a relationship developing with you, developing relationship with you and learn from you, where they can
Mhm.
find you, what is the best place?
Is there a place where will I be able to add my
You
information?
yes, we will add it to
Perfect.
comments.
Yeah, so I'll put my link to my website, to my programs, to my to my
To all.
social media pages, whatever
Yes.
you are called to be. And yeah, I can easily be reached and very approachable,
Yes.
easygoing.
Cheers.
So feel free to anytime. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear how you felt about today's presentation and what landed for you, what
Yeah.
came through, what spoke to you, and where do you
Yeah.
get to go and explore next.
I love that. So everything will be in the comments. So thank you so much, Angel, for your time, for
Thank
your
you for
wisdom, for your
having me.
heart,
It's
for this
always so
practice.
beautiful. Yes,
Yes, I love
so much
talking to
love.
you.
Yay, me
Yes,
too.
all the best. Mwah. All the
So much
best. Have a
love.
beautiful day, afternoon, evening, wherever in the
Yes,
world you
wherever
are,
you are. Beautiful.
and speak to you soon.
Likewise. Hmm.